Holy smokes. Oh. Whoa. Artemis 2. So Artemis 2 launch from right there. Yep.
It looks like it belongs in a Transformers movie. Well, it's on rails. That's the strong back system. It goes down into the hangar here. They put the Falcon 9 aboard the strong back, and then it takes construction. Sir, have a seat. Have a seat. Unfortunately, we will have a moment later on where we will be able to stand up. But for now, I'm going to have you have a seat.
Just sit down. All right.
Into the Danny, April 19th, 2026. We're here at NASA. We're going on in. Private tour, exclusive tour is what we're doing first. Like, subscribe. Let's roll. Okay, so this is a real deal tour I got here. It's 2 hours long because we're driving to different locations. These are active NASA and SpaceX locations. I got my badge right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So we're gonna be getting off the bus and all that, so pretty excited for this. All right, here we go. Time to take this tour. And here is our shuttle. It's the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex Model 7.9 Sector 5. All right, we're on the bus. Getting ready to launch. Actually, we're just on a bus.
Between those tours and this tour, we'll call those folks, those guests over there, general guests, the general riffraff, and those buses, the general buses. Well, we'll call us the VIP Explorer team. And the number one biggest, most importantest difference is you got me. Hi, everybody. My name is Sean. I'll be your NASA representative today and tour guide. We're going to have a lot of fun. In a few moments, David, our tour escort and driver, will be with us soon enough. Yes, it will not be me driving today. Thank goodness I don't know how to drive this thing. I'll tell you one thing. Sorry, I skipped the whole part where I'm going to get you excited again. This is where it gets special. For we do have a few of their same stops. But we go beyond. We go further into the spaceport. In fact, we drive right by and up to some of the most historically significant and active launch pads in the entire world, including the Artemis 2 launch pad and SpaceX's primary launch pad. 35. And there's only really 3 categories of people who will get as close to these spots as you will get today. And that's NASA contractors, SpaceX employees, and the lovely people who take this exact tour. Single-story building. The largest single-story building on planet Earth.
Building right in front of us. It's called the Vehicle Assembly Building, or the VAB.
We're still 5 miles away from it. We're about 8 kilometers away from it. I'll tell you more about it soon enough. But first, because we're headed towards it, so plenty of time to talk about it. But first, you're here at an exciting time for multiple reasons. But one is, for the first 50 years of NASA's existence, we saw about 30 to 40 launches a year from Florida, maybe 50 on a good year. But last year, 2025, we saw 109 launches from Kennedy Space Center, and that's breaking the old record by about a dozen from a couple years before. Why David slowed it down. Looked right in front of the white building. On its side, a big old gray, dusty pipe. No, that's not a pipe. That's a rocket. Wow. That is a Falcon 9 booster, most likely used from last week, or
booster rocket. Booster rocket.
Next week's mission.
SpaceX.
Hard to say. We have another real
right there. It's laying down. It's laying down. The gray thing.
That one was used twice. The ones that you're looking at right now are from an upgraded series called Block 5. They can be used more than 30 times.
There's the back end of it.
There's not always a rocket in front of the building, folks. That's kind of a cool spot. We'll likely be there on the way back as well. It tends to stay there throughout the middle of the day. Now this building, to our left, also a SpaceX building, at least what it will be once it's done being constructed. Once it's complete, it will be called the Giga Bay. SpaceX has all the fun names. And the Giga Bay will be used for Starship. If you didn't know, SpaceX is working on a super heavy lift colossal rocket about 40 stories tall called Starship.
40 stories.
They've already been doing some testing of that, not here in Florida. They do that at their headquarters in Texas, in a town called Boca Chica, and their headquarters called Starbase. But when the time comes, when they're hoping sometime this year, that building will be complete and they will use that building as a garage to partially assemble Starship before launching it here from Florida. I'll tell you more in 5 minutes.
Oh, smokes, look at that.
Only gets worse from here with the jokes. This logo on front. Artemis, by the way, in case you're curious, is the twin sister of Apollo in Greek mythology. And she's also the goddess of the moon. So it's a no-brainer to name the future moon missions after her. Inside the building
space shuttles right here. It's called the VAB.
First, they're already building the rocket for Artemis 3, which will be a test flight of the lunar landers for future Artemis missions. And you can keep it up in the upright position. And as long as they didn't move it since yesterday, vehicle in the entire world.
That's
There's two
the
of them. You'll see the
transporter.
other one before the end of the tour.
That's what
the really active one
transports
right now.
the rocket.
You can see 2 treads per corner. The width
Wow,
of
look
an
how big
8-lane
it is.
highway. It's a hybrid, diesel and electric.
Wow, look at the rocket. That they're
Doesn't
building.
get great
That's
gas
what
mileage, about
transports the
32
rocket.
feet per gallon. And traveling at as
32
fast
feet
as it
per
travels at a
gallon.
rock to the top and clear it out.
This is
fact that you can see
where
treads like that,
the crawler
not something we
what
see
takes
every
the
day.
rocket. This is what.
Now what is that?
This is their
Not
path
dirt.
right here. Look at
Just
it.
think about it.
Wow.
That vehicle with the platform
Reminds me of
tower
Apollo
on top,
13.
We're talking 18 million pounds or 8.1 million kilograms of weight, and that's not even including the vehicle.
So this is our first stop here. It's Gantry L39. It's a lookout tower. We're gonna go to the top and we're gonna see what we can see. I can tell you for sure we're gonna be able to see the launch and the launch and the section where SpaceX launches their vehicles. I mean, I can, from what I can tell, I'll confirm that up top, but I think I recognize it from when I would watch the SpaceX launches.
Initiated and tested.
Great. So can I get a go, no go for test fire?
So this is a lookout tower. It's also a nature lookout tower. So we're gonna go up there and see what we can see.
I will prepare all systems for
Got
test
the
flight.
bathrooms here.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Got a super cool eagle thing. So, all right, we're gonna go up here. We're gonna go up here and see what we can see. All right, we're gonna take the stairs. Get some steps in. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Whoa. There we go, here we go. On up the tower. There we go. There, I knew it. I knew the SpaceX stuff was there. There it is. Straight ahead. So in 2014, SpaceX leased NASA's historic Launch Pad 39A, where the Apollo and Space Shuttle program began. Wow. What a journey for Elon Musk and SpaceX. And modified it to support Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy launches. As part of NASA's commercial program, SpaceX frequently transports astronauts to the International Space Station on the Crew Dragon spacecraft. Crazy, look at it right there. Wow. So if you remember that, and I'm almost certain this is it. This is the one where it caught Elon's, you know, it caught the big rocket. It lands by itself, or it's automated. So that's pretty cool right there. There it is. Okay, before I keep going up, that over there, those tall, I don't know what they're called, launch stations, are for Blue Origin, I believe. So, which is Bezos' company. All right, we're up in the third level. Here is the sort of the back of the thruster, or the rocket, or whatever, the engine, I guess you would say. Wow, look at that view of, wow, look at that, man. Oh, look at that view of SpaceX. This is the view. So is that where a few years ago Elon's rocket was caught? Is that it?
It didn't happen here.
Okay.
You're correct in seeing that tower, recognizing it as that tower. They have not used it yet up here.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
it. That's called Mechazilla. Those are the chopsticks. What
Okay.
you've seen is done in Starbase, Texas.
Starbase Tech, okay.
So once that rocket is ready to go and it's prime time and the testing's all done, then that's the tower.
That's the time, okay. It's called Mechazilla?
Yeah, SpaceX in the name, right?
Okay.
You know it's not NASA when you hear Mechazilla.
Yeah. Awesome, man. And what's that over there?
That's Artemis 2. That's launch pad 39B. Our tour, we go right up to these launch pads.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
It doesn't seem like much because, again, they moved the platform of the tower back to the DAB, so it doesn't look very active. Oh, it's
Yeah.
active.
Awesome. Okay, guys, so look, we're gonna go up to this stuff, but we're gonna drive up to it according to our tour guide, Sean. Great tour guide, by the way. Shout out to Sean. Right here is Artemis 2, where it launched from, and SpaceX is over here. All right, guys, Sean gave me another cool piece of information here. So the basic use for this tower, because I was a little confused. Now it's a nature lookout, it's a tourist attraction. All this was just added last year. But you see here, if you see in the distance over here, that's the VAB. So, oh, sorry, the VAB. That's where they build Artemis 2. Artemis 3 is in there. Artemis 2 was built there. So they assemble it. It's the vehicle assembly building. They bring it out slowly in that big thing that goes 1 mile an hour, right, along this road here. Now, that area was used for the Apollo missions. Keep putting my hand up. This area was used for the Apollo missions. And what would happen was the astronauts would stop here, the astronauts, the researchers, all the people involved, and they would stare at the rocket right here. If you see this road, if you've seen Apollo 13, you definitely recognize the road like this dirt road. It's made of Tennessee River rock, because Tennessee River rock doesn't have any metal in it, so it can't spark and light up. But they would sit here and just look at the rocket and, you know, see if there's anything that is not looking good, I guess. All right, we're up here at the top floor. Gantry 39 lookout tower entering. Holy smokes. Oh, a little bit out of my comfort zone here, but that's okay. You got, oh, look at Blue Origin out there. That's Blue Origin coming in here. All right, I thought I just climbed Mount Everest. There's literally toddlers up here. And there's elevators. But I wanted to get the steps in. Again, we're looking at SpaceX through the window. Super cool. So little games you can play here and stuff like that. Very cool. Now we are amongst the general tour, but the general tour, from what I understand, stops here. We are gonna get to go out there, SpaceX, where it catches Elon's, I don't want to say that. So, what catches the rockets that Elon shoots. I didn't want to say that either, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. The Mechazilla. All right, coming out here to the lookout tower. All right. Taking the elevator down. I did enough exercise. All right, we're back at ground level. Got a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Felt good. Climbed all 4 stories. Yeah, look. It's what the, see what a inside of a Astro, you know, a NASA engine looks like, or at least sort of looks like. All right, so all of this was built last year, believe it or not. You see, like, I love when smart people do smart things. Like, look at this. All of these places, people can come and sit and relax under the shade. What do we got here? Oh, we got an Earth Information Center. Okay. See what we got. See what we got in here. All right, we're here inside the NASA Earth Information Center. Let's see what we got. Let's do some exploring. Oh, there's Africa on the Earth model here. A country I do want to visit. Hello. Am I allowed to go in here or no?
After the next.
Oh, okay. It's like a presentation. Okay, so the next, it's like a theater show. Next one starts in about 4 minutes, but yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible that Elon built the Mechazilla, where that captures the rocket, and launches his what's it called, bro? Rocket. And they built the Mechazilla, where what catches the rocket, and next to it is where they launch the rocket. It's pretty cool that he built it right where the Apollo missions were launched. So, I mean, the irony in that is incredible. A lot of astronauts doubted Elon when he first started SpaceX. So, pretty full circle. Middle East, Africa, Italy, India's back here. Go to Italy. Spain is going to be right there. There's Spain. Cool. All right, done with the presentation. All right, guys, we got to head back to the bus because it's leaving in 5 minutes. And here comes the cool part. All right, this is our bus right here, 31. You can see the general tour gets to come here too, but now is where we separate from the general tour, and we're going to where the Mechazilla is. Is this? Where the Mechazilla is, where SpaceX launches and catches its rockets.
To the International Space Station, though they're doing some construction work right now.
Elon rents it for $100,000
We haven't seen
a
a launch
month.
from here for a few months.
Pocket change.
If you look at the black tower, you can tell that it's human rated because if you look at the top of the tower, below the white lightning rod, there is a string coming from the top of the black tower downwards to the left. Big old long series of strings. Well, those are zip lines. They're part of the emergency. That looks like it belongs in a Transformers movie. Well, it's on rails. That's the strongback system. It goes down into the hangar here. They put the Falcon 9 aboard the strongback, and then it takes the rocket. Now, normally we would see the crew access arm. Ooh, they moved it today. Don't worry, we'll see another one before long. But there's usually a bridge at the top of the tower where the astronauts do the last bit of walking before they board the space capsule. And you also might notice the water tower. The water tower is here. If you look between, or on each side of the strongback transportation system, there is a series of black pillars. Well, those are pipes. And those pipes pump over 400,000 gallons of water onto the launch pad right before launch to suppress the sound. The sound alone, it's vibration moving through the air, right? And at 200 decibels, it's enough to harm the launch pad, the tower, and get in the way of the trajectory of the rocket. So water suppresses that sound during liftoff. So if you ever see all that white smoke billow up during a launch, it's not smoke, it's steam as the flames hit the water. On the left side, the big gray one, this is new. This is not from the space shuttle era.
Wow.
This is a SpaceX construction.
Mechazilla.
Have a seat, have a seat. Unfortunately, we will have a moment later on where we will be able to stand up. But for now, I'm going to have you have a seat.
Just sit down.
For $1 a piece, you get to hold on to it for a year. And then if you want to buy it full price next year, that's great. Or give it back. Either way, you get a sports car for a year for $1. Pretty good deal. And
Guys, we got a little baby gopher tortoise here. We can't touch it, but a little wildlife action here. There you go. So where are we at right now? This is what NASA designated for special guests only, the camera center. So you can literally, man, this is like the perfect spot to watch a launch. So over here, and let me watch it. There's SpaceX right there with Mechazilla right here. And then you can come up here. And again, this is not open to the public. This is only for special invitees. And then over here, bam, we got Artemis 2. So Artemis 2 launched from right there. Yep, and where Artemis 3 is gonna launch from. And just for context, there's the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Oh, there it is, all the way out there. And there again, we have SpaceX, Mechazilla. We have the vehicle assembly building straight ahead. That's where they assemble Artemis 2, 3, Apollo missions, everything all assembled in that building. And then of course, straight ahead where those towers are is where Artemis 2 and Artemis 3 are gonna launch. The Apollo missions, so like the Apollo missions that we all know of, Apollo 11 landed on the moon, Apollo 13, you know, the Tom Hanks movie, all launched right there where now Elon currently leases that land for $100,000 a month. This is without a doubt the best spot to watch a launch. I mean, obviously this is you know, federal land. You can't get access to this. You would have to be invited. I would imagine that NASA does have some open spots to see a launch from here for the general public. Would be cool.
90. It carried the payload of the Hubble Space Telescope from this very spot.
Artemis 2.
And on a slightly sadder note, please don't stand up yet. Don't worry, soon enough we will. Very sensitive spot.
Look how wide.
We like to point it out.
Look how wide where the rocket goes through is.
And we're going to make our way back to the VA. Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks. A good
Apollo
chunk of it
13.
filmed right here. Everybody at NASA loves that movie. I know people who worked on Apollo 13 who say that movie nailed it. Armageddon, starring Bruce Willis, if you remember. Stop the asteroids with the space shuttle.
Armageddon.
In fact, that Hollywood team got the chance to set up their own remote-operated cameras closer to the launch pad during a space shuttle launch. So when you watch the movie, that footage goes back and forth between a real launch and the fake movie prop model they had set up for it, which it's flawless. Watch that movie again with that in mind. Ooh, countdown clock. It's an LCD screen.
NASA press site. This is where people come to watch a launch right here.
Then the old one, which you have
Super
seen,
cool.
it's in the parking lot of the visitor
They got
center.
a launch.
One that was used
The
for the
launch
space
clock
shuttle
is
era.
over there if you can see it in the distance. Well, I finally get in front of this building. This is the VAB. This is the largest single-story building, I think he said in the world or in the country or who knows, but this is where NASA's shuttles and rockets are built. Fun fact, scenes from Armageddon and Apollo 13 were filmed here, and Transformers Part 3 and Fly Me to the Moon, a recent movie with Scarlett Johansson. But yeah, this is where they're built and eventually moved to the launch site. So a lot of history in this building, a lot of American history in this building. So just a cool thing to look at. And there you see the Artemis sign, you see the American flag, the NASA logo on a Sunday. Super cool. Glad I got to see this up close.
Now, but in any case, what is the X-37? It really is top secret. It's the Department of Defense project, or
Top secret.
Project,
Those two buildings in front of us. You can see them through the window. Top
and
secret.
it's a space plane.
Space
Tell you
plane.
everything I know about it. It has no windows, so presumably no astronauts are inside there. It launches, stays in space for about 400 days at a time, and then lands like a plane.
Top secret
That's everything
building
I know
right there,
about
right
it.
in front of us.
And the fact that it's probably in that building right there.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, military launches are funny. They'll tell you everything about it because they can't hide a rocket launch. They'll tell you who's launching it, what's launching, when they're launching, how they're launching. Pretty cheap Wi-Fi.
The building off in the distance is Amazon's
All right, team,
competitor
we
to
are now approaching
Starlink
the Apollo
satellite
Saturn
services,
V
Wi-Fi
Center.
services.
All the
All right, we're here at the I don't even know what this is called. This is like the Saturn. Hold on one second. I'll get the name. But that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Neil Armstrong. Okay, I got the name. It's the Apollo Center. So we're coming here to the Moon Garden. And yeah, we're gonna go in and it was our last stop, and then we go back to the main visitor complex, which we were at. Guys, here of course we have left to right, or I guess would be your right to left. It's Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Edwin Buzz Aldrin. The Eagle has landed. Apollo 11 mission. Wow, beautiful statue. Guys, and here we have, of course, made famous from the movie. We have the Apollo 13 mission, April 11th through the 17th. Oh, the anniversary just passed. And of course, James Lovell, played by Tom Hanks. I don't know which one James Lovell is, so I imagine him. Not sure, but. And of course, we have the famous Houston, we have a problem. All right, coming up on the Apollo Center. I need to get some water. All right. Cool looking building. Let's see what we can see. Holy smokes. Oh. Whoa. That's a big rocket. Guys, look at this. This is from the Apollo missions. Oh my God, look at the size of those things. Whoa. How big, this is like a hangar. Wow, super cool. Look at this. This reminds me of a movie called The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio. Wow, look where it says USA right here. Boom, USA. So you can get a better shot of it. Oh, there it is. Guys, here's a look at some of the engine components from the Apollo space shuttle. I mean, that's crazy. Look at all that wiring and wow, incredible. All right, I just saw this. A little line to look inside, but I don't know what this is. So we're gonna go on in. We're gonna see what it looks like inside. This is probably the capsule in which they returned in. That's what I'm assuming this is. Smokes! Look at that. Wow.
Zitten ze daarin? Yes.
Kijk, right behind.
En hier gaan ze dan zo door
Right behind.
naar, of niet?
Wow, look at that. Incredible. I think the guy behind me, so the guy's on there right now. I think they thought that us three were going in there because he was like right on top of my back, you know? But it's all right. Personal space doesn't exist today. All right, now we're entering the Apollo Treasures Gallery. Let's see what that is. All right. Wow, pretty dark in here, guys. All right. Oh, wow, look at that. Incredible. Whoa, look at that. That is awesome, dude. So this looks like what they returned in. The other thing I think was what's orbiting the moon and what landed on the moon. This is what they came back in right here. Wow. Incredible. Wow, look at that. Sorry. Guys, this is the Apollo 14 capsule. Space is a dangerous place, complete with micro-meteoroids, radiation, and airlessness. And coming home from it is not an easy task. The compact, confined command module with its 3-man crew would be welcomed and engulfed by searing white-hot flames as it slammed through the atmosphere back down to Earth. Wow. Here are some of the different space suits. This is going to be 1971. Alan Shepard. Then we got 1969. All right. Then we got 1967. 1963. 1964. That was pretty cool. Here's a big look at the area. This rock right here, encased in this glass, is from a 1971 lunar sample. The ingenious rock, estimated to be 3.7 billion years old, wow, was collected by astronaut Jim Irwin in the Pallas, I don't know how to say that, Pedrunius Marsh of Decay lunar region. Incredible. Here's a better look at the rock. I mean, look at that. Unbelievable. All right, there you go, guys. That's a model of what it looked like when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon. There it is. And here is the Lunar Theater. Now we're waiting for the presentation to start. It's a theater show. I'm assuming on the Apollo 11 moon landing. So we're gonna go in. I'm gonna go in and watch it. All right, walking into the theater. Gonna watch the show and tell you guys what I think when I get out. These shows are usually pretty cool. Oh, nice, beautiful theater. Wow, look at this. Ooh, look at that. It's like the moon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please watch your step and use handrails while on the stairs.
Awesome. All right, guys, cool presentation. You don't realize, basically, when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, how little gas, how much, basically, they were out of fuel. And with seconds left of fuel, and he was able to land it. The original landing spot they picked was too rocky. So he just went forward and found the place that was better to land, and the rest is history. This is the Apollo 1 tribute. Very cool. All right, this is the Apollo 1 tribute. You got Roger B. Schaeff, Lieutenant Commander. You got Edward H. White, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force. And you got Virgil Gus Grissom, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force. These were the first of the Apollo missions. First used jet propulsion to maneuver in space. Oh, that's cool. He was well respected in his dedication. Wow. The actual Block 1 hatches of the Apollo 1 mission. Oh, wow. These are the actual hatches. Wow, look at that. Crazy. Wow, look at this. This is what it looks like when you're walking into a into the rocket. Pretty intimidating, huh? Pretty intimidating. Now we're going in. It's like the interior, and this is what it would look like right here. We are all on board in spirit. This is what they look like right here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. All right, guys, time to board my shuttle back. We're back with the general group, so time to go back to the visitor complex where I parked.
On the bald eagle's nest. So there were 2 adult eagles and their 2 baby eaglets. I haven't seen them in the tree this afternoon, but they were there this morning.
Oh, look at the bald eagle's nest.
You can
There
see
it
the
is
nest
coming
now.
up. There's bam, center screen. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. All right, I'm feeling kind of tired, but it's all right. Got to keep going. This is where Space Shuttle Atlantis is. So they're primarily responsible for the construction of the ISS, which is the International Space Station that's orbiting. So let's go on there and let's go in there and see what's up there. See what's in here. All right, here we go. Going in to Space Shuttle Atlantis. I have no idea what's in here, so I'm gonna go in and see what it has. The adventure has only begun. The Space Shuttle program personifies what a great people can do and provides a glimpse of the greatness of what lies ahead. All right, Michael Mitchell. Let's see. Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. What's this? Oh, it's like a big theater. Huh. Okay. Oh, wow, you got like a presentation. Okay, let's see what it is. All right, there it is. Space Shuttle Atlantis, 1981. The first space shuttle that was able to land back on Earth and cross through our atmosphere. Pretty incredible, right? Look how big it is, man. Wow. Look at the sheer size of this thing. Space Shuttle Atlantis. Pretty cool. Look at this thing sticking out of it. I mean, was in service for 26 years and flew 33 missions. Every time she launched as a rocket, flew as a spacecraft, and landed as a glider. Pretty cool. Look at that. Here's another look at it, guys, from the back. Wow, look at that. Got the NASA logo right there. Very cool. Looks like the engine right there. Space Shuttle main engine. Yep, there it is. Oh, look at that. Wow, Space Shuttle main engine. Pretty awesome. All right, here's a big area. You can come out here and learn all about the history of Atlantis. It's a big area down there. Wow, look at this shot of the, pretty cool. All the countries again involved down there in the International Space Station. So let's keep exploring. The last thing I want to see before we go is the Forever Remembered area. That's the 1986, I think, space Challenger explosion. So one of the most interesting ways is how they reorbit. So you see, they start backwards. They start flipping over, and then on down. Here are the Atlantis mission patches, all of them. It's a really cool hallway with all the Atlantis missions. 33 missions, 126 million miles traveled. Incredible. Even some of the astronauts have signed it right there. Pretty cool. Yep. This is just a red hallway. I mean, look at the size of the back of it. I mean, wow, amazing. All right, making our way over to the Forever Remembered Memorial. Let's see what we got there. Guys, take a look here at the Atlantis Oh, there's a slide for kids. There's a slide for kids over there. I'll show the slide quickly. Look at that. Look at that Airstream. That's pretty cool. Oh, on wheels. See, you got a slide right over there for kids. They can go from the second to the third floor. Oh, here they come again. Oh, let's see if we can have anybody come down. Oh, guess not. All right, well. Here's a little area. You can see the some pictures and stuff when they were assembling the Atlantis space shuttle. And yeah, let's go see the Forever Remembered Memorial. Okay, guys, here's the memorial for not only the Challenger, but for the spaceship Columbia. The Challenger. George Bush at the funeral. Quote from Bush. That's more than likely at the Columbia, obviously, funeral. Wow. This is where the astronauts train to walk on Mars. No, I'm just kidding. It's where the bathrooms are at. All right, here we go. Of course, we got to pay tribute to the heroes and legends. United States Astronaut Hall of Fame. Explore early space, 1958 to 1966. But look at these rockets. Wow. And these are the ones that throughout the 60s and 70s and 80s were used. So let's keep exploring. Okay, let's explore some of them. So this is the Atlas Agena. Its height is 105.3 feet, diameter is 10 feet. Liftoff thrust is 366,213 pounds. In January 1962, the Atlas Agena launched Ranger 3 and sent it racing toward the moon. The plan was to capture and send home pictures of the moon until impact with the lunar surface. There were 8 missions in the Ranger program. They sent back more than 11,000 detailed pictures of the lunar surface, including close-ups of the Sea of Tranquility, where Apollo 11 would touch down in 1969. Wow, beast. Okay, here we have the Gemini Titan II. This one here, if you look at it, it's 109 feet, 120 inches in diameter, liftoff thrust, 430,000 pounds. Let's read what it says here. It says here, the Titan II was an intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, which was designed to deliver nuclear weapons across oceans to the military and population centers of a nation we believed threatened our country's survival. As a reliable weapon of the Cold War, the last Titan was decommissioned in 1987. I was a year old. Yet it was the reliability of this rocket that made it a logical choice as a launch vehicle for the Gemini missions in 1965 and 1967. So yeah, this is definitely important in our national security history, for sure. Guys, if you don't know, this area is called Rocket Garden. So it's an open space where you can walk around and see all the different rockets, whether they were used for space exploration, taking photos and video in space, where they were used for national defense. But yeah, you can walk around here. They have a guided tour schedule, so somebody comes out like at 9:30, 10:30, 12:30, and it will give you some more information on all these different rockets. But look at this big one here. Holy smokes, look at that. All right, so we're gonna explore this one right here. As soon as these people are done being in front of it, I'm gonna go and read what this giant rocket did. Matter of fact, they're walking away now, so let's go see. Let's go see what it did. Getting history off the ground. No one has ever counted the number of technical challenges we needed to overcome in the infant days of the America's space program. Many of the early rockets would lift just a few feet off their launch platforms before falling back and exploding. As obvious as it seems now, these early failures demonstrated the need to hold the bigger rockets on the platform until the liquid fuel engines could build up enough thrust to safely lift off. So yeah. Whoa, look at that thing right there. Woo-wee. Okay, before we go into the Gateway Center, which is an indoor museum, I wanted to show this one. It's called Juno 1. Its height is 71 feet, 71.25 feet. The diameter is 70 inches, and it has 83,000 pounds of thrust. So basically, I'm not gonna read the whole paragraph, but we developed this as the first, either way, America had to get something in orbit in a hurry if we were to be included in a race that had started without us. Atop a Redstone rocket, the military's two-stage Jupiter was stacked with an added fourth stage, renamed Juno 1. The four-stage rocket pushed the 11-pound Explorer 1 satellite into orbit on January 31st, 1958. So this is our first satellite into orbit, was Juno 1. Russia, obviously, during the fighting with Russia and all that, had launched Sputnik into orbit. So then this was our first satellite into orbit. Okay, we're walking across the grass here, and we're entering Gateway, featuring Spaceport KSC. Again, I'm waiting to go on the bus tour. This is a very cool tour. Like I already mentioned, I had to pay extra for it, but we're gonna get to go out to the launch pads that are north of us, which is gonna be pretty awesome. Okay, but in the meantime, let's go explore this Gateway Museum. And real quick, before we go in, there's the astronaut Victor, who just came back from Artemis 2. Pretty cool. And yes, this is where Artemis 2 did launch from. There you go, Victor. Let me see his last name. Glover. Oh yeah, Victor Glover. All right, entering the Gateway. Here we go. All right. Wow. I feel like I'm walking into space. All right. Wow. What an entrance. Oh, the floor's changing. Oh. All right, here we go. Wow. Holy smokes. Look at this. Look at the rockets. All right. So this section here looks like the lunar capsules and the capsules in which the astronauts return once they head back home. So I'll do a quick spin around so you guys can see everything. And guess what? We got some SpaceX stuff in here. We got some Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Blue Origin. That's Jeff Bezos. Oh wow, look at the SpaceX. This is the SpaceX spacesuit. Nice. Okay, this is the Dragon displayed here, made history in May 2012, and it became the first commercial space aircraft to deliver cargo to and from the International Space Station. The COTS-2 mission, Cargo Dragon, launched on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from CLS-40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. In December 2020, SpaceX unveiled the redesigned Cargo Dragon 2 space aircraft for the CRS-21 mission to resupply the International Space Station. Super cool. So there's some video of the launch right there. Oh, there it goes. There it is. SpaceX. Super cool. Look at that. Looks dirty. Okay, here's Boeing's capsule. Capsule CST-100 Starliner capsule. The Starliner was designed to accommodate 7 passengers are a mix of crew and cargo. For NASA missions to the International Space Station, it will carry a mix of 4 NASA or international partner astronauts with a room for a 5th paying passenger. The spacecraft has an innovative weldless structure and is reusable up to 10 times. It is certified to land on land thanks to its parachute and airbag systems. It also flies and docks autonomously. Wow. All right, let's touch the screen. I don't know, highly usable. Let's try this one. Okay. Apollo, here we go, Apollo Starliner. The Apollo mission could carry 3. The Starliner can carry 7. The Apollo one is double the size, nearly, or more. Pretty crazy what some time will help people do. Wanted to show the Atlas V, super cool rocket. Want to read a little bit about it. The Atlas V is a rocket-launched Boeing CST 100, the Starliner crew vehicle of NASA's Commercial Crew Program, transporting astronauts to the International Space Station. Super cool. Okay, here we have Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin capsule. And yes, it could be at your home in 24 hours. No, I'm just kidding. If you're a Prime member. This is the one that Katy Perry and whoever they are came off, and it was like a big, you know, embarrassing if you ask me, but she's kissing the ground. But yeah, there it is. There's a look inside of it. There's a better look inside of it. Thankfully, Katy Perry made it back home safely. Okay, now we got here Orion capsule. This is NASA's capsule, built for NASA by Lockheed Martin. The Orion spacecraft is designed for a new era of deep exploration, capable of carrying crew and cargo to the moon and eventually Mars. Large enough to hold crew for 4 and necessary cargo, Orion can endure extended travel without docking and withstand extreme heat upon returning to Earth at an unprecedented speeds. Additionally, the onboard software is so advanced it can compute 480 million instructions per second. That's crazy. That's quantum computing for you. That's 4,000 times faster than the Apollo spacecraft computers that took astronauts to the moon. Absolutely incredible. I gotta say, out of all the capsules, NASA's is pretty serious. Look at that. And there you go, you got the Lockheed Martin sign right there. Look at that. This stuff just makes me emotional because this is the future of humanity. I remember when we first got to Celebration, I wasn't aware that we could see launches from Celebration. You know, obviously being from South Florida, you don't see that stuff. So one day we're in the apartment and Melissa goes, "Oh, let's go outside. Let's go see the launch." I'm like, "The launch?" So we go out there. It's nighttime, and you see this huge, and we're about 65 miles away from here. Directly due east. So we're looking east, and it's a SpaceX rocket that was launching, and you just see this huge glare in the middle of the night, and you can hear it. You can literally hear from 65 miles away. Just, you can faintly hear it, but you hear it. And I don't know, and there's a lot of people. I mean, even the day of the Artemis 2 launch, which I was gonna come out here, but I wasn't able to make it. We were all standing outside. There were a few people standing with us outside in the complex and hoping to see it, but it was too cloudy, so we couldn't see it. But even when it launched and we still couldn't see it, there was an older lady and she became emotional. So it's, this is it, right? This is the next frontier for humanity. So pretty cool. what a sort of an RL-10 rocket engine sounds like. It's a Space Launch System SLS upper stage. Wow, pretty cool. So if you like the movie Project Hail Mary or The Martian, this is it right here, Life Habitat. The large integrated flexible environment Life Habitat launches on a conventional rocket and expands to the size of a 3-story building on orbit. Significant volume power and data to support long-duration human habitation. Developed and tested to meet NASA meteoroid impact requirements, applicants in low Earth orbit, deep space transport, and surface habitation on the Moon and Mars. Get you a closer look inside. Look at that. Okay, making our way back out into the main area. Look at this. Not too busy today, which is nice. Of course, they have a Starbucks here. I wonder if in Mars we'll have a Starbucks. Wouldn't that be hilarious? I wonder so many things if we were to actually colonize Mars or live on Mars. Like, how much would rent be on Mars? You know, are they going to have, you know, a DMV? Will we have a Starbucks? Here we got some of the participants in the International Space Station, a triumph of technology and international cooperation. We have, of course, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, which is pronounced Deutschland, Italy, Italia, Japan, I cannot pronounce that, Netherlands, Nederland, Norway, Norge, Russia, can't do that one, Spain, hey, the motherland, España, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and of course, the beautiful red, white, and blue. Look at this beautiful NASA sign here. Look at it. Wow. Nice and glossy. All right. Awesome. Look at that. I always wanted to go to the Milky Way ice cream shop. So let's go in there and try some ice cream from the Milky Way. Here we go. In we go. Oh, it's not too big. It's nice and empty. Interesting. Come over here. Get yourself a nice Milky Way ice cream shop. Sphere, 1 scoop, 2 spheres, 3 spheres. That's funny. Oh, they got milkshake. They got for $7.99. It's Oreo, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. They got astronaut ice cream. They got waffle cone. Cool. All right, there's the ice cream in there. I don't think there's anybody in here right now, but hey, this is it. Are you open? Not yet? Okay. Okay, here we are at the ATX, the Astronaut Training Experience. Let's go on in. It's presented by Lockheed Martin. So let's do it. Oh, cool. Look at this. So this is what, I know I was joking around at the beginning of the video, but this right here is what the moon's surface would look and feel like, I guess, or a version of it. Then if you come over here, this is what Mars would feel like. Looks like Albuquerque, New Mexico. Shout out Breaking Bad. There it is. All right, let's go on in. Okay, guys, the ATX experience is full for today, but this is the entrance. It's basically a 6-hour training course or module. So if you ever want to come out here and try it out, I would do that. So this is the entrance. That's about as far as we can go. All right, we're walking across the open foyer, headed to a little attraction called Journey to Mars. So we're gonna go in there and see what that is. So the astronaut training experience, that's something that if I do come back here in the future, I'll sign up for and try to do. There you have another capsule right there, spinning around. Very cool. Walking into the Journey to Mars, Explorers Wanted. This looks like another open museum. Very cool. Gateway. We're going back to the moon. Now, this is the part of space I want you guys to understand. From our moon to Mars is 238,980 million miles? Holy smokes. Your destination, there's Mars. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Come over here.
That's why it's so exciting.
There's so much. We know so much about it.
Why should we explore space and there's so many problems here on Earth?
People ask me this question all the time.
We don't take a rocket filled with dollars and blast it into outer space. Every dollar we spend is spent here on Earth.
The ones who will lead us to that next frontier.
Okay, guys, this is the Preservation rover from Mars 2020 mission. Super cool. I mean, look how big it is.
All stations
It doesn't look this big on TV. Look at
Ready to
that.
resume count and go for launch.
Look at the wheels.
LVTC,
Components.
launch vehicles, STC.
I was watching that presentation back there, and it's pretty incredible all the things that space provides us today. GPS, cell phones, solar panels, communications, national defense. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. The technology of the satellites in orbit and what they provide us as human beings it's pretty crazy when you think about it. All right, guys, here you have another rover, the Spirit rover, the Opportunity rover, and here's some of the facts on them. Launch date July 7th, 2003. I was a junior in high school. From Cape Canaveral. That's where they landed on the surface of Mars. Wow. You got the Spirit rover, June 10th, 2003. 3 days from my birthday. So yeah, pretty cool. You got one right here. Then you have another rover here. These are launched in 2018. Atlas V 401. Man, there's a lot of rovers on Mars. I wonder if they're still active on Mars. That's a good question. So I looked it up. This rover is no longer active. It was active on Mars from November 2000. Oh, it says it right there. I didn't even see it. November 26th, it landed in 2018. It was active till December 21st of 2022. So over 4 years, this thing was roving around Mars. Another interesting thing I learned about Mars now is that it has a Grand Canyon. Now think about the Grand Canyon in Arizona, right? 17 miles widest across. Huge, right? There's a Grand Canyon on Mars that is the length of Los Angeles to New York City. I'm gonna say that again. It is the length of Los Angeles to New York City. That is insane. And from what I understand, yes, Mars does have water. I'm almost certain that the video said that, to double check me on it. Here's another space exploration vehicle from the Jetsons era. No, I'm kidding. Come over here. And what do we got here? We got another one here. This one is called Curiosity rover. And look at this. Wow, it's still active. Launch date was November 26, 2011. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has a pretty strong glare. Well, I'll read it. November 26, 2011, from here, Cape Canaveral, launch vehicle Atlas V. It landed on August 6, 2012. So it takes about 11 months to get there, and it's still operational. 8 years and counting. Crazy. Who watches this thing? Somebody in NASA just watches the look at the camera on this thing. Oh, smokes! Look at that. Wow. Guys, look at this. Images from Mars. Sojourner rover, September 13th, 1997. Opportunity rover, July 26th, 2004. I just graduated high school. And then we got the Spirit rover. Look at that. Look at the sand, how it has that bluish color to it. Spirit rover, pretty cool. Last thing before I get out of this specific theater, the reason that Mars is so red, I was just reading, is due to the iron levels in the soil. It has a lot of iron oxide, which gives, it's the same reason why our blood is very red, why, what was the other thing it said? Rust. Oh, it's also why rust has its color and why Mars has that color on it. Guys, come out here and get a picture with the astronaut. All right, I'm getting a little bit hungry, so let's go to the Orbit Cafe and hopefully I can get something to eat. Hours are 11 to 4 p.m. And then here is the menu. They got Build-A-Burger. I'm saying you know what? Build-A-Burger, black bean veggie burger, Artemis afterburn. I'm gonna get the Artemis afterburn burger. And just your basic stuff. Okay, here it is inside. All right, let's see what we're gonna get. How do I go for the line? I guess we order at those screens over there, but I'm not gonna walk through all this. Let's go around. All right. Okay, so you come up to this kiosk here, and they got a bunch of different languages. So listen, obviously English. What are we gonna order? Price on selection. Let's see what we got here. Afterburn burger with French fries, candied jalapeno. I like candied jalapeno. So we'll do this one. We'll add to cart. Select your signs. Okay, choice. Next. Fries. Next. We'll do water, path water. Next. Done. Okay. And let's check out. Okay, I'm order number 45 and I paid $23.17 for burger, fries, and water. All right, here's the Artemis 2 Afterburn burger. Move that. Pick it up. Oh, it looks pretty good. There you go, right there. Look, candy jalapeno right there. You can see I like jalapeno. All right, there it is. Not gonna lie, this burger's pretty good. Very good. All right, let's head back out there. Thankfully, I came a little early for lunch. That's another tip that I would give you. If you're at a theme park, if you're at one of these big, tourist attractions, don't go to lunch at 12. If you're gonna go at about 11. I was able to beat the crowd, so let's get out there and explore the unknown. And we have reached Penelope's favorite part of the Kennedy Space Center, even though she's never been. The Dippin' Dot Station. Okay, let's go in the Space Shop, world's largest. We still have a few other things to show, but I figured, heck it, let's show the space. Let's show the gift store, and this is a big gift store. Holy smokes. Wow. That's a cool mug right there. Orange NASA mug. All right, let's walk around. Ooh, very, very cool. Of course, you got your sweaters, your t-shirts. Okay. What does this shirt say right here? Be greater than average. Nice. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at this hoodie. Got a cool, I'm gonna have to probably get me a t-shirt. But here you go, Kennedy Space Center. Very cool. $44.99 for the hoodie and T-bundle. Come over here. That's a cool mug right there. You got some of the shirts up there. NASA, go for launch. I like that NASA one, the blue one. All right. Oh man, this is pretty cool right here. Look at this Artemis 2 mug. Very cool. All right, look at that. This is gonna run you, I'll tell you right now, $40. All right. Let's keep it going. Look at this jacket. Pretty cool Artemis jacket right here. See how much that's gonna cost you? That would cost you, $155. All right, you got little capsules and stuff here. All right, we keep going. Got some plushes here. Got some more NASA blankets and stuff. 70 bucks for this gigantic blanket. And some pillows for the couch if you want. Very cool. Got some patches and magnets and stuff like that. I might have to get me a magnet. That's probably what I'll get. I'll probably just get a magnet for the fridge or an ornament. I'm sure they got Christmas ornaments. Let's go look at some of the patches. Wow, look at these patches. Beautiful. Wow, look at this. Look at these patches. Beautiful. Whole history here. Amazing.
You got your toy. Mommy and Daddy want their own toys.
Here are some more patches. Amazing. STS 25. Incredible. Guys, here we have some cool decorative stuff. You got I guess planets or stars in Enceladus, Jupiter, constellation, Venus, the Moon, Earth, Mars. Mars, the big one's gonna set you back $400. Here are some more decorative pieces for the desk. These are pretty cool. You got the lunar excursion module. You got the Mercury module. Gemini, I believe that would be 8. I'm not sure. Module. The command module is going to set you back 300. And then look at these for the house. These are pretty cool, man. You can put one of these in your house. In your what is it? Man cave. Which one would I pick for my man cave? I think I'll probably have to go this one right here. Yeah, this one right here probably. Yeah, these are gonna run you about $300-400 bucks. And then here you got like a meteorite. I'm not sure if that's actual meteorite, but yeah, pretty cool, right? Here you got another Starliner Boeing model, an Orbiter Atlas model. So that's cool. Some more shirts here. Wow, look at this SpaceX. Oh, that's cool. I might have to get that one. I have so many black shirts. See more of the shirts they got here. Oh, look at this one. This is the one Elon wears. Occupy Mars. This is what Elon wears right here. The Occupy Mars shirt. Might have to get that one. I don't know. I'm going to get one. Here we go. Rocket scientist. Shirts are going to set you back about 30, 40. This one's 40. Oh, you got some Blue Origin stuff here. That's Bezos' company. This one's going to set you back 30. Nice. New Glenn down there. Okay, let's keep it going. Keep it going. Apollo 13 hats. Shout out to Tom Hanks and Jim Lovell. Jim Lovell was the astronaut that Tom Hanks played in Apollo 13, if you don't know that. Apollo 13 was a follow-up mission to Apollo 11. They were supposed to land on the moon, but they had technical... Well, if you've seen Apollo 13, you know what happens. And they circled the moon. Kind of like Artemis 2 did, I would imagine. If you want a random... I don't even know what this is. Is this for cooking? What is this? Guys, here's a look at some Yeti Kennedy Space Center model... Kennedy Space Center mugs. A little bit more high-end. Still very nice. Look at them right there. Very nice. NASA Yeti. This will keep your stuff cold for sure. You got your classic NASA mug here. It's going to run you, I'll tell you right now, 20 bucks for the NASA mug. There you go. Hey, if you want some NASA cook merch, why not, right? You can tell me, hey, look, guys, my spatula was made in NASA, so I can cut steak with it. Oh, I'm glad they still sell these right here. right here, right? Classic frame. Put up in the house. Ah, this is the mug. This is the mug that I'm gonna go to my meetings with. Right here. How you doing? Yeah, we have go for lunch on that term life insurance. Not sure if you guys can see him, but JD Bartow is up there. He's a real life astronaut. You could maybe see him through the fence there. He's talking with people. There's a line of people to meet him. Oh, sorry. There's a line of people to meet him upstairs. So that's cool. Maybe I'll come back a little bit and meet him. All right, came upstairs. See if we can get a better shot of the legend, the legend JD Bartow. I'm gonna look up now who he is and what he was part of, but there he is. JD Bartow. Oh, there he is. JD Bartow. It's crazy when you see certain people you don't really understand, you know. And I got it here on the phone. So JD Bartow flew the mission STS-51F Challenger in 1985. If you know anything, you know that in '86 is when the Challenger incident, horrible incident. So I'm sure he knew many of those aboard. It was the year I was born. I always remember that. During his mission, he traveled over 2.8 million miles. He worked a lot in the International Space Station, completed 126 Earth orbits, wow, and logged more than 190 hours in space. Wow, it's part of a naval research laboratory. He's now retired. And he frequently lectures at the Kennedy Space Center. Here, yep. So some of his jobs from 93 to 2005, he was ISS research manager. So that's International Space Station, which is pretty cool. Director of Operations and Utilization at NASA and Chief Scientist for the Space Station between 87 and 90. Pretty cool, pretty accomplished person. Pretty cool jacket right there. Black. Powerful quote. Failure is not an option. On this side we have the Columbia, and on this side we have the Challenger. And just tragic events. Part of American history. Also, we got Michael J. Smith here from the Challenger side. From the Columbia side, we have David M. Brown, Kalpana, Michael Anderson. I mean, just part of American history. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave. That's true. Okay, Atlantis display. Awesome. I'm heading back to base camp, Sector 5, Alpha Bravo, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on this is my first visit ever to the Kennedy Space Center. Believe it or not, my first visit ever, and I'll give you my thoughts. Time to drive back home. Houston, we have a problem. I've been here for 7 hours and I'm tired, so I need to rest.